Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. That is a quote by Soren Kierkegaard. Welcome back to the YouTube channel for Lamont & Company Woodworking. Well, since the last video, I think we have done actually quite a bit. Painted. We've got the garage door installed. We received final electrical approval. AC is installed and working great. And outside has been painted. I don't think that was painted last time. We step out here. So got the outside painted, matched the house. So did a good job on that. And obviously I started moving some stuff in. So pulled all this out of storage, and so we got table saw hooked up to the dust collector, and we got the power that's ran under the floor, so that's working out good. Dust collector coming up here. So started moving stuff in, started getting set up. I feel like I still have quite a bit to set up, but I haven't brought everything over from the storage unit. I think I'm going to try to just bring things at this point. I've got the big stuff over. I think at this point I'm gonna just try to bring stuff over gradually as I need it. I don't want to have a bunch of clutter. I want to have a bunch of stuff over here and then try to figure out where to put it. So first up, as far as build for the shop though, is an outfeed table. So I want to build like a 4x8 foot outfeed table that would kind of go over, the outlet and where the dust collector is here. And it would kind of like double as like somewhat of an assembly table. So that would probably be the first thing that I'm going to try to build as far as for the shop. Everything so far, I guess, is working okay. Had some issues with my joiner planer, some limit switches, safety switch issues. Found a broken connection inside, but that's working okay. We got the drum sander here, and that's working okay. And I don't really see this channel as being like a gear review or a tool review channel, but I may end up doing some things, a review on some of this stuff. It may just happen, like my shaper there is not hooked up. So real quick, one of the Grizzly tent sales, I got the drum sander, that sander there, and the shaper, and I ended up hooking the two, getting the two sanders running. I've never gotten this even hooked up. It's never had power to it since I've had it. It was a good deal, and just never got around to doing anything with it. So, and that was back almost 3 years ago. So looking forward to getting that going. We had one casualty in the move. I had a Craftsman radial arm saw, the old style Craftsman radial arm saw, and went to move it, and it flopped over, and the castings broke. Where the saw actually meets the support, or whatever you want to call it, actually slides. So had some stuff that I needed to cut, and to put up the pegboard and stuff. So I knew I was going to need something, and I knew this was, a miter saw would be my next step, because the radial arm saws, in my experience, that's the second one I've had, and they're just not that accurate. They're okay for doing some things, and but pretty much any ripping operation you're going to do on a table saw anyway. And in order to do any kind of miter cuts with a radial arm saw, you got to move the whole thing, and then you end up cutting into the, you know, your pieces on your side here. In fact, I think I don't see it now, but anyway, you end up cutting in here when you move it, and it's just, I don't know. Anyway, so after a little bit of research and trying to figure out what to get, I settled on the Hercules from Harbor Freight. Yes, I don't know, Harbor Freight and myself, it's like a love-hate relationship. Some things I get and it's just terrible. Some things I get and they're awesome. This one, I almost went with a, from Lowe's, the Cobalt from Lowe's, 12 inch. And I like the fact that you could do 16 inches deep on it if you modify the fence and you have like a board underneath, and you've got to do some modifications to it, but you can get 16 inches. So I was kind of settled on that, and then I started looking at the reviews and on it, and some of them weren't very good. And so then I went back to the Harbor Freight, and started looking at the reviews on some of their stuff. And this one had great reviews, and I went and looked at it in person, and I think the construction of it just feels better. The construction of some of this just feels really good. And so went with this one, got it home, and one quick thing, I was looking at the box, okay, where was this made? Figured it was made in China. It's Harbor Freight. Made in China, right? Nope. Made in Taiwan. And so for those who know, you know. If you've ever bought Grizzly tools or have had, Grizzly used to, all of their stuff used to be made in Taiwan. And then they started to introduce some of the other machines that were made in China. But it's to the point where, Grizzly will actually advertise their machines that are made in Taiwan. So a lot of times, the stuff that's made in Taiwan is of better quality than what's made in China. And not sure why. I don't know if it's just factory standards or what. But so far, I haven't really used it much. Just a little bit to hang the pegboard here, but yeah, so I want to definitely do more of that and put that through its paces. But getting it set up, there's a lot of that, almost, I guess all of this lumber is from the auction that I bought from, with the exception of the pegboard and the one buys. But some slabs down there, poplar, ash, hickory, and then a little bit of oak, and then we've got some walnut, and so 4/4, 8/4. So we got some lumber already to use, and anyway, getting there. Definitely not 100% set up, but I think I'm set up enough to start doing some stuff. I'm not one to, I don't necessarily enjoy setting up and just, going through and making everything exactly perfect as far as a shop. Like, oh, this is exactly how I want it. No, I like to get going on my stuff. It's for me, I like to get the things in my head out. In other words, like if I have a piece of furniture or an idea for something in my head, I like to get it out. So that's the way I put it. That's the way I describe it anyway. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not bringing everything over, because I don't want to mess. I like things to be neat and orderly. So this will probably change. I've got like a bunch of, so again, I try to plan everything out and everything. I just started putting up hooks and hanging stuff up. And as I was doing it, I would change stuff, and I'm sure this is going to change a lot. So, but anyway, so there's the update, and yeah, excited to finally get going here. So stay tuned. Thanks.